to do our own content and learning more about the business and, you know, researching about social issues and just taking the time to really educate myself as much as I can. You know, y'all all go to UCLA, shout out to y'all. Y'all got one of the best, you know, educations in the world. And, you know, like, best people in the world. Bruins. But, you know, like, you have the luxury to, you know, knowledge is power. And that's why I also applaud y'all, like, you know, stay in school, knowledge is power. And I'm like, I don't have a degree, so I'm like, every chance I get to step away from acting, I'm like, let me educate myself on whatever it gotta be. Like, let me educate myself, because that's huge. Like, I suck at using the difference between there and there. You know, I have to go on Google. I'm like, hold on, let me educate myself before I start tweeting some dumb stuff. Like, real talk, like, sometimes you gotta take that time to be like, yo, I gotta know my difference between my twos, like, 2 O's and 1 O, like, that ain't cool, like, but, and that's something that I learned in school, but just not caring and not remembering, is like, I used to get clowned on social media, like, well, you used the wrong tool, so. But, I try to find time, like I said, educate myself, watch more movies, just try to use every day to just do something, whether it's working out, whether it's, you know, I'm always auditioning. Right now I couldn't audition because I have to get ready for Famous, but just every day just trying to just grow as a man, grow as a person.
Seeing that you work in Whitewood, aka Hollywood.
Working what?
Hollywood. Oh. Since people of color are super underrepresented, Whitewood, yeah. Since people of color are super underrepresented in the industry, and seeing that like you work in the industry, what would your advice be to like break past that barrier? Like, how did you overcome that stress of like having like fighting for only black roles when there's only like 1/3, 1/4 of like a black role? Because I know like people of color in Hollywood are really underrepresented. So would you recommend like an agent or being more Caucasian?
You want an agent that's gonna work. You want an agent that's gonna hustle for you, no matter what color. Hello? Ooh. Why do I do that? Honestly, y'all, you want an agent that's gonna work for you, no matter what color they is, and just can y'all hear me?
Just keep going.
Okay, and just understand you as a person. You know, you talk to your agents, you say, hey, you know, as a black man, I want to do everything for the culture, but then I also tell my agents, like, look, I don't want to just do these stereotypical roles all the time, and I don't want to do projects. I want to do projects where it's like, it could be for anybody of any color. It just happens to be a black man in that role. You know what I'm saying? That role happens to be a black man. Like, you never let them box you. You know what I'm saying? You got to speak up. That comes from you. Like, if you know, like, hey, I keep playing a basketball player. Yo, I don't want to play a basketball player. You got to talk. You got to talk to your agent. If they're not doing that, then you have to go elsewhere. But, you know, I think, man, like, we might be, as a culture, people of color, we might feel like we're, you know, undermined as a culture, but really we have so much power, we just don't realize it. And that's why I say you got to educate yourself. We got so much more power than we think. You know, like, we never think like, maybe I'm gonna raise like $10,000 and just do my own short and see where it go. You never know. That short, you can take that to festivals, somebody buys that. You own that. Now you're doing your own role. I did this role. Like, I could adjust this role now. And I could bring all my friends who's acting into this. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just about, like educating yourself on the business. It's always gonna be disadvantages for us. You know, but that's what makes us who we are. That's what makes us great. Like, you just gotta work through it. Thank you. Hello? Yeah. Is that better? That's all. Okay. If I gotta is that me?
Hello, my name is Ifoma.
Hey.
I know that with the entertainment industry, you have to take a lot of risks. And I just wanted to know, like when it comes to those points where you sort of get anxiety or you're unsure of what you want to do, how did you get through those moments? Because I know for myself, there's like so many ideas I have, but I get anxious and I get self-conscious and then I think, oh, should I really do this?
Yeah.
Like how did you get through those points? And
just do it. Like the Nike sign, real talk. Like, it's been times where I have ideas in my head, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to write this on the paper. Then I start writing, I'm like, this is stupid. What was I thinking? But then I come back to it later, like, okay, hold on, let me keep going. Like, honestly, I get nervous before shooting everything. I get anxious. My hands start sweating. I got nervous before talking to y'all. Like, that's just a part of life. I think the best way to get through it is to literally just like, well, one, I pray, but two, is just like, I'm here for a reason. I know how good I am. You know what I'm saying? I know I work hard for this. Just trust your instincts. You gotta trust yourself. And that's the hardest thing to do in this industry because, man, like it's been times where I'm just like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Like, and then it come out and I'm like, oh, it was it. It's just literally about, you have to find peace within yourself, however that may be. Like, and that's one of the hardest things to find because it's like, what can I do to help me get through being anxious? What can I do to help me like get through myself being the first voice that like denies everything? You know what I'm saying? Like saying like, that ain't gonna. It's just about just doing. One night I couldn't sleep and I was like, I'm finna write this pitch for a love story. And I was just writing it. And then I just kept going. I'm like, oh snap. And then I had a little name for it. I'm like, oh snap. And then I stopped and I was like, in the morning I'm like, man, I probably was just, that was all impulse. But then I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep at it. And I'll meet my homie about it. I'm gonna try to pitch it. But like, it's just literally just like trusting in yourself. Just please, like, just have to trust in yourself.
So, for this conversation, we can see how important education is to you. I wanted to know if you ever like took a break from acting for a little bit. Would you ever go back to school and get your degree?
I'm gonna keep it 100, y'all. I would love to. I would love to, but I think what would kill me is when the tests come up. Like, I'll learn, but then the test is like, why I gotta take the test? I've been learning. Like, should we get a grade? So, should we get like a grade for like how we like talk about it in class, like interacting? I'm like, yo, because I get it when we all talking about it, but then when you test me, and I ain't got no references or sources to go to, then I'm like, this is all memory now, and I don't remember stuff. But, man, I always think about that. Like, I be thinking about that. My little brother and sister are so smart. Like, I'm jealous because they like super smart. I'm like, how y'all so smart? And me, I'm like, I would love to, but it just, and then when I got ADD too, so I was all over the place. But I would love to take a class and just learn something. Like, they got dope classes at colleges with film studies and like behind the camera and history of film. I really want to take a film class about the history in film, so I can just educate myself more on just what I do. You know, like. That would be dope. That would be dope. You never know.
Register now.
Hello. What up, man?
Yeah, like yourself, I like to code JC as well.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is only spot a few blacks the higher I go.
Wait, what'd you say?
And murder excellence, thank you. Only spot a few blacks the higher I go. That's
Okay.
Coach with Jay-Z. And my question for you is, how do you combat survival skills? If you ever do have it.
How do I what?
Combat survival skills. Basically feeling heavy and down on yourself because you was the only one that made it from where you're from.
Man, I think then I feel like it's my duty. I feel like it's my duty to work and get to a point where I can create my own content so I can go back and get those people who want to act and cast those people who want to, you know what I'm saying, who want to act, get those people who want to write and educate them and bring them aboard with me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you always got to give back in one way, but I feel like when you can give back and give people jobs, that's a luxury. So I feel like that's why I keep wanting to educate myself. Because I'm like, if I educate myself to where I can do my own content, and work on my own stuff, I could get people from my city, from smaller towns anywhere, and be like, hey, I want to cast that person. Nobody knows this person, but I want to cast that person because I see something in them and I know they want to work. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like as a person, I have to educate myself and get to that point where I can create jobs for other people.
We have one more here.
Hi, my name is Graciela. I'm a third year from major in African American Studies in Jefferson. Minor in education. I was curious. I noticed before you talked about how you're trying to continue using your platform to advocate on behalf of Black Americans or like people who identify people of Afro descendants. I was wondering how, in regards to that, if you've ever spoken on the issue of colorism and seeing the ways in which you have profited and been privileged and benefited from being a light-skinned Black man, because I've been talking about being a Black man, and that in itself carries a lot of gender privilege. But I'm wondering, regarding specifically, sorry. Can I? Okay.
She preached.
Okay, yeah. So how, like, you're talking about like how you're carrying a lot of, you're like, oh, it's a Black man and Black women don't get hired, but specifically like within that, it's not just all Black women. What about dark skinned Black women? There's only one Viola Davis, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like a lot. There's one Easter egg, so like it's great. And so like part of having that platform, in my opinion, is being able to recognize that and know there's nothing you can change. Like I'm nice and shabby too, but you know you have to be aware of the ways in which that carries privilege, specifically in your position. So I'm wondering, because just like looking through social media and stuff, it doesn't seem as if that's been a platform that you've utilized for that particular issue. So is there any particular reason for that? Or
Man, you know what? No, that's real. You know what? On that particular issue, it's heartbreaking one, because it's like, you know, you don't realize that growing up. You know what I'm saying? And my brother and my sister, I hate using these words, are dark skinned. And we had the same mom and dad. Like, they just dark skinned. I was like my mom. And I do this thing on social media, I don't know if you ever catch it, where I use like dark emojis. And people get mad at me. They're like, why would you use that emoji? You're not dark. And I'm like, well, I'm Black. And sometimes I see people, you know, darker than me that use lighter emojis. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, use the dark emoji. That's dope. That's you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I gotta think to myself, well, I'm not in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people growing up, and I got family members who don't like themselves because they feel like, oh, I'm too dark and too. And I was never. I grew up with a mom. She's lighter than me, and she like, you better bring the black woman home. You better praise Black women. You better. You know what I'm saying? She don't play about that. So I never even went through something where I was like, oh, that person's better because they're light, and no, that person's not because they're dark. I always thought, yo, we all Black, we dope regardless. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that the hard way. Being in this industry, like you saying, you like, I might get advantages because I'm lighter. In regards to going up against a dark-skinned guy, which is crazy because I'm like, yo, chalk the dude's a zine. I'm trying to be like, yo. Never, like, real talk, I always felt like, dude, maybe that's why I need to educate myself, because I'm like, personally, I'm like, we all Black, like, I love you. So when and like you said, there is only one Viola Davis. And you got like Tika Sumpter, who's amazing. Like, why isn't she in more stuff? And I think to myself, I'm like, man, you know, is she not amazing to other races? Because she's amazing to me. It also comes back to like, well, who are we trying to impress? You know what I'm saying? It's like, we watch the Oscars and we like, oh, we gotta make it to the Oscars or we ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, do we? Like if we big within our culture and our community, that's a win. And I'm like, I can't change it overnight. I can't be like, oh well, you know, like overnight we're gonna get more, you know, dark-skinned African American women in the industry. You know what I'm saying? In the movies. I can't change it. I wish I could. You know, if I had my own production company, I'm going after those off the bat. Because I'm looking at, you know, even the ones they put on the hot list. I'm like, you got so many amazing Black women that y'all not putting on this hot list. you know, like my homegirl Nafisa Williams, she's dope. You know what I'm saying? You got, I could go on, man, you got Ryan Destiny, she's dope. You got, man, like, I mean, I hate colorism. Like, of course, Kiki's dope. You got, it's crazy because it's like, it's so much out there in like, it's messed up. It's messed up. And I know as a man, I have to tell myself, you know, you got, it's this other girl too, matter of fact, I just thought, she's in a new Medea movie. Her name is Diamond, I think it is. Dope. Real talk, because I'm thinking, I'm like, man, it's so many and I see them all the time. But it's like at the same time, you don't want the girls who may be lighter to feel like, well, I'm only here because I'm lighter. You know, like the Zendayas, or like the Amandalas, or like the Yaras. I don't even know if you would consider it light. Like that's why I look at it like this is so dumb within our community that we're so divided with colorism. You know what I'm saying? But it's real and it is what it is in the industry. What was you about to say? You was about to say something. Yeah. Oh, because you had said something, you went back down.
No, it's because you said girl and I said woman. But yeah.
Woman. Okay, I'm sorry.
I like her a lot. She's dope.
But yeah. As a black man, you know, I'm educating myself on that more. You know, if I wanna become a producer and create jobs for other people, I also have to keep that in mind. And I also have to educate younger black actors and other black producers like, yo, maybe you should take a look that way. And not because, oh, I need to go that route because it's not a route that people don't usually go. It's because, no, that person is talented. And don't take it away from them because their skin might be darker. Oh, and they might, you know, like they said to me, for a job, they said I couldn't get it because they didn't think I appealed internationally. I'm like, well, how are you supposed to know that if I ain't get the job? That don't even make no sense. You gotta put that person in the position to do what they're supposed to do, and then they make it happen. Like, that's why I love Dear White People. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of amazing black actors on Dear White People that are amazing. But it is? I had to come to UCLA for it. But I'm glad you asked me that because I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning. I'm still educating myself every day, and I really look up to you for asking such a strong question like this. And that's why I love our black women because y'all so strong and y'all like aggressive. Y'all don't play. And you do that, and I respect that. But
last question.
Yeah.
So this is the last question before we start lining up to take photos.
she wasn't playing. Yeah, they do.
Okay, so I watched you in Famous and Love, and I watched you in Reality High, and it was cool because once you started talking here, I was like, oh shit, like you talk black, and in the shows, I feel like maybe you kind of have to use your Caucasian voice. So my question is, I don't know, like, do you struggle with censoring the black parts of yourself that people don't want? And also, since you only showed me stars across, like, black female love interests, like, how do you know, beyond saying black women are amazing, how do you go about supporting your black actors and
Well, one, when I first started acting, my manager, and it's funny because she's Caucasian, she straight up told me like, oh, you need to like stop talking like that when you go off a role. I'm like, what? I was disrespected. Like, what you mean? When they're looking for my type, that's what this is my accent. I'm from NorCal, I talk how I talk. But she helped me because she basically was just telling me to enunciate my words. And I was like, okay, maybe I do need to enunciate my words more. I wouldn't call it like talking Caucasian. I don't like saying that. It just, you know, speak proper, take your time, enunciate. I'm talking like how I talk with y'all. I feel comfortable up here. It's easier for me. I don't enunciate my words good, but that was a hard thing for me when I first started acting. I used to listen to music and enunciate the lyrics to help me enunciate my words for acting, if that make me sick. It was weird. And you said another question about
How do you support the black women in your life, and especially your co-stars?
Man, well, I was always raised to just always treat black women like queens from my mom. Like, I'm just being real with y'all. I mean, I like all different type of women. I'm gonna be real. I don't discriminate, but I was always taught by my mom to love and respect black women. Period, point blank. So doing that is just second nature to me. I'm not gonna look at a black woman like, okay, I'm gonna choose to respect her. Like, nah, this is what it is. And it's nothing less. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that is what it is. And when I'm working on set with other black actresses and stuff, I just try to, be a gentleman. Make them feel comfortable. We gotta do a scene together, kick it, like, try to, create some type of chemistry. I mean, just be myself. I mean, as black men, I speak for all black men, we gotta work harder on, encouraging our black women, of course, and treating them like queens and showing them that they mean the world to us and they are something in this world. It starts with us, straight up, so I'm gonna say that right now. But for me, I just feel like it's second nature. And I mean, I'm getting a wake-up call. The older I get, and the more I'm on social media, I'm like, wow, like, these are issues I never thought about growing up. And it's like, I'm at a platform now where I have to educate myself on that and really choose my words wisely and really pay attention to how I treat people, even though I feel like if I didn't treat people good, my mom was on my ASS if I wasn't doing my stuff. Like, she don't play. Like, so, and my dad. So, it's like, that's just second nature to me, but I feel like that's really huge, especially in this industry. We gotta protect our black women in this industry, because if we don't, no producers and stuff, they're gonna feel like they can talk to them however, so it starts with us as well, so. Or people of power, I should say, and yeah.